August 18th meeting of the Architecture Review Board to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Irma Johnson.
Here.
Patty Cross.
Here.
Jennifer Oberlin.
Here.
Nicole Conkle.
Here.
We have
Okay.
a quorum.
Thank you. Has everyone had an opportunity to read our minutes from the July meeting? If so, we would entertain a motion to approve. Ms. Conkle?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
All righty. Is there a second?
That.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay. Anybody opposed? Okay. Let's have our first item, please.
In accordance with Articles 4 and 17 of the City of Frankfort zoning ordinance, John Clark is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a new single-family dwelling for the property located at 416 Capitol Avenue. The property is more particularly identified as PBA map number 062-31-06-004.00.
Okay. And it's good to see the Clarks back again. Ms. Conkle, did you have something?
I wanted to disclose to the board, the public, and the applicants that, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, you're just fine.
Okay. That I have participated in archaeological investigations on this lot before, and the Office of State Archaeology did assign an archaeological site number to this lot.
John, can you hear me?
Who's that?
But at any rate, I wanted everybody to be aware of that. It doesn't affect anything having to do with my participation in this review and application.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. All right, staff, are you ready with your report? Thank you.
All right. Jordan Miller, City of Frankfort, Planning and Zoning, Planning and Community Development, I'm sorry. All right, so this is an item that the board reviewed and approved by a vote of 3-1 at our June 16th meeting. During that meeting, unfortunately, the live stream available to the public malfunctioned, and therefore we're presenting this item to you all again. It's the same item that we reviewed in June. And as we previously discussed, this is a proposal for a new single-family dwelling on a currently vacant lot. The applicant is requesting preliminary approval of the overall shape and form, as well as input from the board before final architectural drawings are requested by the applicant. These plans will be brought back before the board in a future date. Items of concern at that initial meeting included the roof pitch, which staff recommended to be higher. Something else discussed were the existing stairs that lead up to the siding of the house, which will remain and will be repaired in kind where repairs are needed. Several of the steps do need repair as they are cracked and broken in some areas. We did receive citizen comments regarding this item, which I did forward to you via email again earlier this afternoon. The following citizens submitted written comments regarding this item: Michael Fitzpatrick, Jen Williamson, Catherine Dutt Mitchell, Natalie Wilkerson, and Mary Barr. I would like to submit these comments into the record and for your consideration regarding this request. Please let me know if you have any questions about them after a presentation. I did receive a specific question about the hours of construction and the proposed dates and time of day when work will begin on the project. The applicant foresees construction beginning this fall at the earliest. I would like to note that final plans must be presented to the board and approved, as well as the issuance of a building permit before any construction can begin. The city does limit the hours of construction. Exterior construction shall not take place between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., and this restriction is applicable 7 days a week. The applicant has indicated to me that they would be more than willing to work with their neighbors if any of the construction of this project becomes an issue. Their foremost priority is to be good stewards of the property and good neighbors to those around them. I would like to submit my report into the record, and I've also included the minutes from that June meeting, which summarized our discussion from that date. With that, we're recommending approval with the 3 conditions as noted on page 4 of your staff report, and I would be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Jordan, this is Ed Logan. Did your staff report change in any way from the initial staff report?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Jordan, this is Jen Oberlin. I have a question. Did the applicant receive the comments received from the public?
Yes, we received only 2 sets of new comments for this meeting, and then from the June meeting, we had 3 sets of comments that I sent to them in June. I did not resend the June ones today.
Okay. You've received any new one?
I'm sorry?
They received any new comments we received?
They have. From Ms. Wilkerson and Ms. Barr. I spoke with John, Mr. Clark, about Ms. Barr's comments today on the phone, and then I did copy him on the email I sent to you all from the email from Ms. Wilkerson, which I received today.
Very good. Okay, are there other questions from the commission? Okay, Mr. Clark, did you all have something that you wanted to add tonight from your earlier presentation?
No, I just want to let y'all know the next or more concrete plans will be submitted in the next couple of days. So next meeting, we'll be able to further discuss the plans. That's the only update.
All right. Well, we apologize for our technical difficulties the last time around.
Okay. Happens.
Are there questions for the Clarks? Seeing now, oh, do see one. Ms. Conkle.
I'm not sure if this question's more appropriate for the Clarks or Jordan, but looking at the page 4 of our information packet, staff
Looking
recommend- page 4 of this application packet.
Okay.
This approval is preliminary and for the general design, shape, and siding of the proposed structure. So I kind of wanted, I'm curious because in our based on our June 16th meeting notes, what we voted on was yes. If it was my understanding that what we voted on was yes, we agreed to continue reviewing plans as they develop, which I think is awesome. But I was wondering if, as we move forward with this, we could break out specific elements that we are reviewing and commenting on at each meeting. I think that is that something we can do? It might be helpful.
Jordan?
Ed, what do you think about that? How specific can we get on conditions of approval and then what's?
I think we can review. I think what Ms. Conkle is asking, can we break them down so that we can categorize and not just give one blanket approval, look at it from different standpoints. And I think that's up to the Clarks if they want to present it that way, or if staff wants to direct it to be done. Obviously, I think it'd be easier if we come in at one time, but with 3 or 4 different sections so that everybody knows exactly what we're talking about when we grant approval.
Are you speaking such as roof line and landscaping and that sort of thing, or is that what you mean by breaking it into elements?
I honestly don't have a recommended list of elements. I was just wanted to throw that idea out there to consider. And I wouldn't even know how to build that list of elements, but I'm thinking that maybe the applicant and city staff would.
I'm trying to think of how we could reword maybe condition number 1 to make it less maybe all-encompassing of general shape, design, and siding.
The reason I'm throwing this out there for consideration is because I think it's great that we're having these conversations early on. I think that it's a good idea for the applicants to know moving forward with such a huge investment that is much appreciated for our community. But I also down the line and hitting something that is one element of an overall design and build package that might need further discussion and modification. So if we don't break it out to some level, it might get tricky.
Well, for the purposes of tonight, I think that number 1 works. It is a preliminary approval and general approval of all of the different areas. When we come back with an actual plan, then it would, I think, would be the time to split it out, right?
Mhm.
I feel more comfortable as long as we do understand that it is preliminary and that our approval doesn't represent approval of any elements that we're currently looking at.
Preliminary. It does say preliminary, and that they're going to bring final drawings and whatnot back to us. So all of that's on page 4, I think.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. I would entertain a motion. Miss Irma, are you speaking?
I just noticed somebody had raised their hand, so I was addressing that.
Which hand?
Is it Mr. Sauer?
He needs to unmute if he's speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was talking to the other Mr. Sauer, Johnny
Oh,
Sauer. I
Johnny.
just noticed his hand was up.
I just moved my computer. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I'm looking for a motion from the board.
Well, since I started talking, I will make this motion that in accordance with Articles 4:16 of the City of Frankfort zoning ordinance, that we give a certificate of appropriateness for a preliminary plan to construct a new single-family dwelling for the property located at 416 Capitol Avenue with the 3 recommendations from staff.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Is there a second? Ms. Conkle?
I will second this motion, again stating that it is preliminary approval and not comprehensive of anything specified in this packet at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, let's call the roll.
Miss Johnson,
Yes.
Miss Conkle,
Yes.
Miss Oberlin,
No.
and Miss Cross.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1.
Okay, thank you. We look forward to seeing your designs.
Sorry, we might hear some barking. I think my husband's coming in.
Okay. Yes, the babies.
In accordance with Articles 4, 16, and 17 of the City of Frankfort zoning ordinance, John Sauer is requesting a certificate of appropriateness in order to install new exterior features on the east elevation for the conversion of the second and third floors to apartments for the property located at 217-219 St. Clair. The property is more particularly identified as PBA map number 061-24-14-008.00.
Okay. Staff?
Yeah. All right, 217, 219 St. Clair Street. It's also colloquially known as the Sauer Building. The applicant is proposing a number of renovations on the rear elevation of the structure, which is the east elevation. These include a new wood glazed door and stained treated wood canopy roofed in painted corrugated sheet metal at the ground level entrance, which currently exists from the Lewis Street parking area. Also proposing new second and third floor framed stair enclosure behind the south existing brick elevator tower, which is pretty prominent on the rear elevation as you look from Lewis Street. It will be directly adjacent to the left of that if you're looking at it from Lewis Street. This enclosure is proposed to be clad in a painted corrugated sheet metal with two single hung wood windows. Also proposing a 16-foot by 32-foot stain treated wood deck at the third floor, which is directly north of the brick elevator tower and accessible from the stair enclosure. Proposing deck railing to be clad in the same kind of painted corrugated sheet metal to match the other new features. The subject property is a contributing structure to the Central Frankfort Historic District. Staff is recommending approval with a set of conditions, 3 conditions, which can be found on page 4 of your staff report. I have advertised this publicly and put up a sign last Tuesday. Haven't received any comments about it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Miller? Ms. Conkle?
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the deck, please?
The deck?
The deck?
Oh, yes.
Sure. Let me pull up my drawings here. All right, so this is being proposed on the third floor only. It will project out 16 foot from the existing building and then be 32 feet in length. Instead of having traditional railings, they're proposing the same kind of sheet metal that it will be clad on the proposed stair enclosure as well as the roof. It will be accessible from the stairs, as I said, and only the third floor apartment. Wood framed in construction.
Okay. Any other questions for staff?
Jordan, will it be visible from the street?
Yeah, the deck will be visible from the street as well as the treated wood canopy above the entrance. The stair enclosure will be located to the left of the existing elevator tower on built upon. Right now there's an existing 1-floor building, a footprint that already exists. It will be built up above that 2 stories higher. There is a tree there that kind of blocks that a little bit, but yeah, it'll be visible from the street as well. It's not as large as the elevator tower in height.
Okay. Do the applicants have any questions for staff?
No, ma'am, not this time.
Alrighty. Okay, whoops. Do the applicants have anything they'd like to say before we?
I'm Johnny. Just, yeah, to clarify on from the street. The deck is only going to be visible from the Lewis Street alley side. You cannot see it from the St. Clair Street side.
On yours, mine, I mean. We're having a little.
There you are. Okay, you need to unmute if you're speaking. There you go.
All right, sorry about that. So I was just saying that the deck is viewed from the Lewis Street alleyway, and not on the St. Clair Street side, just for that small clarification. The purpose of the rear staircase is for convenience and rear fire access exit strategy for the building, so that tenants can exit the building to the rear in the alley, which helps out for parking and also for fire escape. So that's the reason for that, and we're trying to put that in an area that's not, obtrusive or in any way of a large change to the exterior look of the building.
Okay, very good.
Excuse me. Sorry, Patty. I don't recall that he identified himself, or if he did, it was unclear for me.
I'm sorry.
To get
Yeah,
that
I'm
for the
John
record.
Sauer. I'm John Sauer's son, and I'm the
Perfect,
project
thank you.
manager for us on this project.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions for the applicants? All righty, seeing none. Have the applicants reviewed the staff report?
Yes, we have.
And are you okay with the recommendations made by staff?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. There's no other discussion. We'd entertain a motion. Anyone? I need a motion.
All right, this is Jen Oberlin.
There you go. Thank you.
I will make the motion that we accept the certificate of appropriateness for the property located at 2017 through 2019 St. Clair Street with the conditions as indicated in the staff report.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Oberlin,
Yes.
Ms. Conkle,
Yes.
and Ms. Cross.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, Mr. Sauer, congratulations, you're approved.
Thank you all very much.
Madam Chairman, we certainly appreciate it. I think you will really be proud of what we're trying to do there in our old store. It was first built by my grandfather with help from my great-grandfather. And my father, Frank Sauer, operated the business there from 1937 on. Thank you for your approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam Secretary, our next item, please.
In accordance with Articles 4, 16, and 17 of the City of Frankfort zoning ordinance, Marnie Walters is requesting a certificate of appropriateness in order to move the garage door opening on the front facade for the property located at 312 Lewis Street. The property is more particularly identified as PVA map number 061-24-13-022.00.
All right.
Okay. Staff, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So 312 Lewis Street. This board's reviewed this property before, maybe in 2015 or 2016. I don't know. I think Patty may have been the only one here, Irma possibly, for putting on a rear door in the back. But this concerns the front roll-up door on the front facade, which faces Lewis Street. So this is a non-contributing property to the Central Frankfort Historic District. It reflected a similar garage that existed a couple properties down that's connected to the Marcus building that was demolished in order to make way for a big renovation that they're doing there. It was similar in style to that. But this proposal is just concerning that front roll-up door, and they would like to install a functional 10-foot by 18-foot door that can roll up because the existing door is quite old. It's probably from the original building that when it was a furniture storage warehouse. The applicant has stated that they'll leave the door there rolled up in place as well. So in case any future property owner or tenant wanted to, take it back to its historic appearance, they could. But there will be some space left from that existing door with the proposed door. So they're proposing to frame that in, install metal siding in that area where there's a void, and have it match as closely as they can to the garage door, proposing a gray material. And then, as I stated, yes, they'll roll up that door, remain in place behind the framing. There is an existing I-beam there that will remain. The applicant has stated that will remain in place. It will also provide some kind of breakup of the expression of the materials on that front facade, so that will still be there. And I'm recommending approval with 2 conditions on page 2 of your report. I haven't received any comments from the public regarding this item as well, so I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them. Thank you.
Okay, let's see, I've lost, there we are. Any questions from the board or staff?
This is Jenna Rowland, I'm sorry. And I'm
Okay.
sorry if I missed this, but what is the size of the proposed new garage door to the one that's currently there?
Proposed is 10 by 18. The existing one, looks like it's about 12 by 26, I believe. Maybe yeah, I believe that's correct. There will be 4 feet on each side of the opening, and then 2 feet above that will be filled in with the proposed metal siding. So about 8 feet on, cumulative of 8 feet on the sides, and then 2 feet on top.
Gotcha, thank you.
5% of the size of the existing door. 66.
Are there additional questions for staff? Anyone else have questions for staff? If not, our applicant, Ms. Walters,
Yes.
if you'd identify yourself and just sort of give us a little report if you want to.
Sure. My name is Marnie Walters. I've owned the building for approximately 10 years. The door has gone non-functional. It won't go up very high. I mean, it'll only go up very 8 feet, and it's very dangerous. It's actually a safety hazard. And so we need to go ahead and try to get the door put in and modified. It's very hard. We can't even find a door to go into the space. Nevertheless, even to fit the original space at all, I've looked. I will tell you, I'm a historic preservationist myself. I live in the Musi building. Roby's Bakery. I own that building as well, so I will do my due diligence to make sure that this building is done in very good taste.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions for the applicant? Seeing none. Let's see, did anyone else wish to speak? I'm seeing a couple of faces. Were they just here in case we needed, or did they plan to speak? Ms. Wilkinson? Oh, okay. And Ms. Walters, were you okay with the recommendations of staff?
Yes, I was. Yes, I am.
Okay, good, good. All right. Is there any additional discussion? If not, we'd entertain a motion. Ms. Conkle.
I make a motion to approve the request for a certificate of appropriateness in order to modify the garage door opening on the front facade of the property at 312 Lewis Street with the recommendations provided by staff.
Okay, is there a second?
I will second that.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Any other discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Oberlin,
Yes.
Ms. Conkle,
Yes.
Ms. Cross.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walters, and good luck with your doors.
Thank you.
Okay, any additional business for tonight? Excellent. Okay, it was great to see everybody, and I'm grateful that Henry kept his mouth shut, so. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a
Ms.
motion.
Conkle? Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, say bye.
Bye.
Thanks
Thanks,
again.
everybody. See you soon.